Imagine two people. One earns $1,000 per month. The other earns $10,000 per month. 10 years later, one is drowning in debt, and the other has millions. What happened? Did one work harder? Did one get lucky? Not necessarily. Because becoming rich is rarely about how much money you make. It's about understanding a few hidden rules that most people never learn. And this is exactly why 99% of people stay trapped financially for their entire lives. The truth is, our schools teach us history, mathematics, and science, but almost nobody teaches us how money actually works. Nobody teaches us why poor people often pay more than rich people, why your habits determine your bank account, why your emotions secretly control your finances, and why the system itself seems designed to keep most people running in circles. Today, we're going to uncover the hidden money rules that separate the wealthy from everyone else. And once you understand them, you may never look at money the same way again. From childhood, most of us hear the same advice. Study hard, get good grades, find a stable job, work for 40 years, then retire. But here's the uncomfortable question. If this formula truly created wealth, why are millions of hardworking people struggling financially? Why do so many people work harder every year but still feel broke? Because income and wealth are not the same thing. Let that sink in. Income is what you earn. Wealth is what you keep. You can earn $200,000 a year and still be financially stressed. And someone making $50,000 could quietly become wealthy. Because wealth is built through systems, not salaries. Rich people understand this. Most people don't. The average person spends first and saves whatever is left. The wealthy save and invest first, and spend what's left. It sounds simple, but over decades this tiny difference changes everything. One decision creates consumption, the other creates ownership. And ownership is where real wealth begins. Here's one of the cruelest truths about money. Being poor is expensive. Imagine your washing machine breaks. A wealthy person buys a new one immediately. Problem solved. A poor person may not have enough money, so they borrow money, or use a credit card, or pay for repairs again and again. In the end, the poor person often spends more. The same thing happens everywhere. High interest loans, overdraft fees, late payment penalties, expensive transportation, renting instead of owning, paying month by month because buying in bulk isn't possible. Every financial problem creates another financial problem. Poverty becomes a chain reaction. And that's why escaping poverty can be incredibly difficult. Not because poor people are lazy, but because scarcity itself is expensive. Every decision becomes urgent. Every mistake becomes costly. Every emergency becomes a crisis. And when your brain is constantly worried about survival, long-term thinking becomes almost impossible. This isn't merely an economic issue. It's psychological. Scarcity consumes attention. It steals mental energy, and it makes people focus on today's fire instead of tomorrow's opportunities. Albert Einstein allegedly called compound interest the eighth wonder of the world. Whether he actually said it or not, the principle is undeniably powerful. Imagine two friends. The first starts investing at age 25. The second waits until 35. The first person invests consistently. The second invests even more money every month. Yet decades later, the first investor often ends up with significantly more wealth. Why? Time. Because money grows exponentially. At first, the progress seems invisible. Nothing appears to happen. But eventually, growth accelerates, and suddenly small decisions made years ago become life-changing. This is how wealthy people think. They understand that money is not only earned, it grows. Every dollar can become an employee working 24 hours a day. Every investment can create more investments. Every asset can produce more assets. The rich don't simply work for money. They build systems where money works for them. And that's an entirely different game. Modern society is built around one goal: make you spend. Every advertisement, every notification, every social media post, every luxury image, all are competing for your attention and your wallet. Because consumer spending drives enormous industries. The problem isn't buying things. The problem is buying things to impress people. Many people spend money they don't have, to look successful in front of people who don't actually care. A bigger car, more expensive clothes, a luxury phone, an upgraded lifestyle, and suddenly, higher income doesn't create freedom, it creates bigger bills. This is called lifestyle inflation. As income rises, expenses rise too, and the cycle continues. More work, more stress, more consumption, no wealth. The wealthy often play a different game. Instead of asking, "What can I buy?" They ask, what can I own that produces more money? That simple question changes everything. Because every dollar has two possible destinations, consumption or investment. One disappears, the other multiplies. One hidden money rule can be explained in a single sentence. Assets put money into your pocket. Liabilities take money out. That's it. But this simple idea changes lives. Many people think wealth means owning expensive things. But expensive things often come with expensive responsibilities. Payments, maintenance, interest, insurance, repairs. The wealthy focus on acquiring assets, businesses, investments, skills, intellectual property, income-producing assets. Because assets create cash flow creates freedom, freedom creates options, and options create wealth. The goal is not simply earning more money. The goal is building systems that continue generating income, even when you're not actively working, because time is your most valuable asset, and eventually, everyone runs out of time. Money can be earned again, time cannot. Perhaps the biggest difference between wealthy people and everyone else isn't intelligence, isn't education, and isn't luck. It's perspective. Most people see money as something to spend. The wealthy often see money as something to deploy. Most people chase income. The wealthy chase ownership. Most people focus on today's comfort. The wealthy focus on tomorrow's freedom. And perhaps most importantly, the wealthy understand delayed gratification. They sacrifice today to gain exponentially more tomorrow. Because wealth is rarely created overnight. It is usually the result of thousands of small decisions repeated consistently for years. Saving, learning, investing, building, improving, being patient. Success often looks like magic from the outside, but from the inside, it's usually discipline. The hidden truth about money is this: most people aren't poor because they don't work hard. They're poor because nobody ever taught them the rules of the game. The difference between financial struggle and financial freedom often comes down to understanding a few simple principles. Spend less than you earn. Avoid unnecessary debt. Invest consistently. Buy assets. Think long-term. And remember this: wealth isn't built in one big moment. It's built in thousands of small choices, made every single day. Because money follows habits. Habits shape decisions. Decisions shape your future. And the hidden money rules you learn today may completely change the rest of your life. If 99% of people never learn these rules, the question is, will you be part of the 99% or the 1%?